Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Greenville where an arrest has been made in a home invasion case. This is the second arrest in the case. 20-year-old Yoel Roberlo was arrested by Greenville police yesterday in connection with the October 3rd home invasion on Fairfax Avenue. Last month, Shaki Joyner was arrested for breaking into the Greenville home between 2:30 and 3 a.m. Now, warrants say that Joyner robbed the man inside the home of items with undisclosed value and threatened him with a gun. Joyner's arrest warrants say he conspired with an unknown person to commit the robbery. Now, Robledo is facing charges for the same home invasion. Robledo was charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, attempted robbery with a dangerous weapon, second-degree burglary, and felony conspiracy. He is in the Pitt County Jail and is being held without bond. And now we want to turn our attention to the murder investigation into the death of Rob Reiner and his wife, with his son now behind bars. NBC's Morgan Chesky has more from L.A.
This morning, Rob Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick, is behind bars, arrested and booked on suspicion of murder in his parents' deaths inside their Brentwood home.
Nick Reiner, a suspect in this case.
Two sources telling NBC News that Nick was being disruptive and behaving strangely at a gathering Saturday night that he attended with his parents at Conan O'Brien's house. The following day, authorities responded to an emergency call from the Reiners' Brentwood home.
Verifying we have 2 cardiac arrests.
Once inside, authorities say they discovered the deceased couple, arresting Nick just hours later near USC's campus in downtown L.A. Nick Reiner's struggle with drugs was well documented. As a teen, he was in and out of rehab and at one point, even homeless. That period in his life depicted in the 2016 semi-autobiographical film Being Charlie, a collaboration between the father and son.
I'd rather have you alive and hating me than dead on the streets.
Rob Reiner spoke about that experience on Today.
Making this film not only forced me to see what he was experiencing, but I think it forced him to see what I went through and what his mother went through.
The tragedy prompting an outpouring of tributes from fans and friends. A crowd gathering at Reiner's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And Kevin Bacon, who starred in A Few Good Men, posting this emotional tribute.
The making of that movie was one of the best experiences that I've ever had on a set.
For Harry Shearer, who played Derek Smalls in This Is Spinal Tap, Rob Reiner was like family.
What legacy does Rob leave behind?
He was a deeply caring character in his own right, and he brought that to his work.
And again, that was Morgan Chesky reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. Today started out just about as cold as yesterday, but the big difference is today we are going to be experiencing a warm-up that will take us back to at least the mid to upper 40s. Some areas could actually sneak their way into the low 50s coming up later on today. We've got even more heat on the way, though, for tomorrow. So if today's heat doesn't do it for you, wait another 24 hours. We'll get a little bit warmer. Right now, 32 degrees in New Bern along the Neuse River. It took us until 1 p.m. yesterday to reach 32 at New Bern. So this is a big improvement in terms of heat. Right now we've got a west-southwesterly breeze blowing in at 6 miles an hour. It's making 32 feel more like 26, but we're also seeing again dew points rise. Yesterday dew points were in the single digits. Right now we've got a 14-degree dew point in New Bern, but this morning it was still frigid out there. We had Kenansville and Jacksonville both come in with air temperatures in the teens, 18 degrees at both reporting stations. Everywhere else in the east again saw temps in the 20s, save for Edenton, which made it down to 30 degrees. But right now, here's where we're at. Currently looking at low to mid 30s across most of the east, unless you're watching closer to the Pamlico Sound where there's a little bit more heat present. We've got 37 degrees in Oriental and Beaufort, 39 in Hatteras. Now, as far as the temperature change over the past 24 hours, it's noticeable. we've warmed up by about 10 degrees across most of eastern North Carolina, and that change still leaves us shy of our seasonal average in the upper 50s, but we're certainly getting closer and closer to returning to average after a cold and frigid Monday. What's really going to help us out today? Southwesterly to west southwesterly winds. Wind speed's not going to be super impressive today, but the direction and consistency of those winds is going to again mean all the difference in the world for our temperatures this afternoon. As we head towards 8 p.m., again maintaining about 4 to 8 mile per hour breeze out of the southwest. And later on Wednesday night, we may see those winds try to shift a little bit as we make our way into Thursday. Here's a picture by the time we get to around 5 a.m. on Thursday. Northeasterly breeze, but with an incoming frontal boundary, I don't foresee us seeing too much of a cool down on Thursday. I think it's really going to be coming in more so on Friday. But here's again a reason why we've got the northerly winds shifting to the southwesterly winds, that area of high pressure moving off the coast. Then our attention turns to that frontal boundary that's going to be working its way across the east, more so fully on Thursday, but we could again see a little bit more warmth come in out of the Gulf, and that will boost air temperatures up, even though we will have a better opportunity for rain on Thursday and even on Friday. Coming up for this afternoon, though, highs in the upper 40s, again 47, 48 degrees between 1, 2, and 3 p.m. That will cool down to the upper 30s by the time we reach 6 p.m. So if you're interested in enjoying some of the heat today, I would try to get out there before we reach 4 or 5 p.m. because that's when the temperatures are going to start to drop. Now tomorrow morning, back below freezing as we start the day, standard winter procedure. But as we head into the afternoon, air temperatures are going to surpass the upper 40s that we again are looking at today, and we'll be getting into the upper 50s by tomorrow afternoon. 57 degrees by 1, 59 between 2 and 3 p.m. That means there is a chance a few of us will actually bump our way into the low 60s. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. 65 degrees coming up on Thursday, but it comes with more cloud cover and a better opportunity for rain. I think the majority of those drops will come in Thursday evening into Friday morning. However, Thursday morning, I can't completely rule out some rain showers. We could have some prefrontal activity that could get some people wet early in the day on Thursday, but I think the heaviest rain will stay reserved for the afternoon and evening. Saturday, right now looking dry, a little bit breezy, but air temps in the mid-50s, again, touch cooler than average. We'll be back into the low, possibly mid-60s by the time we reach Sunday, and then we'll cool off for the following Monday and Tuesday of next week. That's all we have time for today's 9 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.
This hour of the WITN First Alert Desk is sponsored by ENC Pirate Realty.